3,
two,
2,
one.
1. Hey everybody, welcome on into the Big Access Podcast. Today we have Mike Solomon with H&S Protection here to talk to us all about mobile credentials that are available on your PDK systems. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today, pal.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I know we originally filmed this episode while we were at ISC West, but then we came back and part of the file ended up being corrupted. So really grateful that you're able to jump on this call, doing this remote with us so that we can get this episode taken care of, because ultimately we really want our partners to know why mobile credentials are so fantastic and why they're good for you guys, as a dealer and an installer, and why they're good for the end user as well. So that's what today's episode is going to be all about. But before we dive into that, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about who H&S Protection is and what you guys specialize in?
H&S is a family-owned business since 1959. We specialize in alarm install, mainly commercial. We do probably 80% commercial, 20% residential. Access control, specialize in PDK. We also do CCTV and fire monitoring. So being from Milwaukee, a nice sized city, Milwaukee area, there's so many competitors that put in, specialize in fire. So we just do the monitoring. But our bread and butter these days, especially since the pandemic, is access control and CCTV.
Yeah. Why do you think that those are such an increase in popularity?
Number one, we used to, here at our office, we used to have our front door open, to the public. Once the pandemic came around, we locked it down with our access control. We're able to buzz in with our mobile credentials or, a button that's underneath a desk right now. But then cameras, as far as contact tracing, is really big also. So you always know where everyone is. You can see if someone scanned in to get into your building, and then you can watch them walk around.
There you go. That's really important. Well, that's cool. Cool seeing about how you guys have, actually utilized the pandemic to change your business model and trying to change your focus there. So many times we hear about that, about how the pandemic really went about changing things, and especially in the security world, right? There was a lot of companies that it was either, feast or famine during that time period. And I'll tell you what, while we were a little bit nervous and hesitant about what the future looks like, we thrived, man. I mean, we didn't have any supply chain issues, and so it helped to really boost the time frame of doing installs. Right, there was a bunch of non-invasive installs that were able to happen, and like you were saying, it was a time when access control was really needed. So good to hear that you guys kind of had that same experience there.
And just to go on that subject, is during the pandemic is really where we started pushing PDK. We were able to talk via, video conferencing and such, learn your product because it's so easy to learn. You don't need to be touching it other than on the computer. When you're wiring up boards, but your software's so easy, it's cloud-based, and everybody needed some sort of affordable access control. And it was just a no-brainer for us. That's where it really took off for us. I remember 5 years ago, Dave Nalesny, I think that's how you say his last name.
Shout out to Dave, such a stud.
Yeah, he came down and he's like, "Oh, you want to go? We have a cloud-based access control. I want you to look at it." I'm like, no one's going to pay for access control. Come on. And now that's it. I mean, everybody wants it. It is. We changed our offices to it. It's just so much easier, and that's how I'm gonna dovetail into the mobile credentials.
Let's do it, man. Just take us right in. That right there is called a smooth transition.
Yeah. And we always had a traditional head end access control, hardwired, just the norm, right? And if I run downstairs, have my phone in my pocket, get something on my car, now I'm locked out. I can't get in because I forgot my keys on my desk. I can just grab my phone and unlock the door. It's so great, right? So easy. And it was, again, I hate to keep on saying a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for us to switch over. Number one, we sell it. We sell multiple different ones, but PDK is our bread and butter now. we integrate it here to the point where we can just, if someone forgets their keys and I'm upstairs at the conference room, I can just open my phone and unlock the door, right? Or if there's, if you came to visit us, right, and I knew you were there, I could just unlock the door and let you in. I'm upstairs, come on upstairs, right? It's so easy. And right now during the summer, we have some people helping us out. We, like most companies, are looking to add staff. We're growing, right? And while we do that, I have some family members of different people that work here coming in every once in a while to help us with filing and such. And we give them mobile credentials just to come in. We don't have to hand them off anything, any cards or fobs.
You know, that brings up an interesting point that I don't think a lot of people think about, right? Those temporary credentials that that you can go ahead and issue to be able to provide basically guest passes for people who might not be there in a long time, right? Maybe you've got a summer intern, maybe you've got a contracted employee who's only going to be there for a little while, right? It's very simple and easy to be able to issue that mobile credential, and then you can even set an activation and an expiration date on those so that they only work during that specific time period. So let's say that maybe it is, I'm going to use intern because I run with a summer intern on our team, but with that, we set up her mobile credential so that she can gain access to our office with her phone, but the start date is the day when she started, and the end date is the day when the summer semester ends. So it makes it so that we don't have to worry about her becoming and gaining access afterwards. So yeah, that's a great point.
The best part, and for us as in sales about mobile credentials also, is the customer's like, well, how much does a mobile credential cost? Right?
Yeah.
And I say, nothing. Right? Go ahead. So where there's Bluetooth credentials and Bluetooth readers, which is an added cost, right? And they're great. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
For a summer intern or whatever, I don't have to pay for any of that. It's just add them to it and delete them when I want to, right?
Yeah.
Now, these mobile credentials, they're free. I can do it whenever I want. If my wife is, coming to meet with me or helping us out for a week or a weekend to clean up the office, I can give her a credential to come in and out of the office. Then I don't have to hand out a fob or key or anything like that. So there's so many good benefits or positive benefits about a mobile credential. The only downfall is if you forget your phone and your keys on your desk and now you're locked out.
Yeah. Well, and really, who forgets their phone much anymore these days, right? The phone is basically a fifth appendage.
My wife.
Oh, your wife.
Yeah, we'll leave to go out, and she's like, "Oh, where's my phone? I got to get my phone." So
that's funny. Have you ever run into the situation where she's on the phone with you and she goes, "Oh crap, where is my phone?"
Or holding it, yes.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Just making sure that my wife is not the only one who's done that. So perfect.
Yeah. Shout out to Mel. Mel made the
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's to me, when we talk about PDK with our customers, I actually had competitors. Give them the time of day. I respect the hustle. People I've known in the industry come in and try to talk to us about a new cloud-based access control or new certain access control. The first thing is I want to see the GUI, right? I want to see the interface to what I'm going to do. And I've never found one as easy and as smooth as PDK. And I know I'm doing a PDK podcast and it sounds like I'm hyping it up, but I'm going to say that I compare it to them. I'll talk to one of your competitors and say, have you seen PDKs? This is what people are looking for. You guys started with the phone app basically and built it into where it goes to the computer or browser, right? And it all looks the same. That's how it was sold to us. Brandon Stark and Dave and Mike Brimmer, those guys come and say, look at how easy this is, to the point where, us older people that aren't as tech savvy, right? It's so easy for us to program and do things where our installers, they laugh. They're sitting outside next to a door testing it on their phone, thinking this is so much easier than what we used to have to do. We used to have to get an IT professional involved to get into their system, to be able to do this, and then have someone read a card while we're at the software. You don't need that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So it cuts down in install time, right? You don't have to go be a pesky person and go to your customer and say, hey, your software's out of date. You need to pay for a software update because there's, with your cloud service, all updates are pushed through. You're good to go.
Right.
You have backups to the backup. You forgot your fob. Do you have your phone? Yeah, I have my phone. You got mobile credentials. Now you're in. It's just it's becoming easier, right? And the good thing too, as we all know in the security industry, our company was built on alarm RMR, right? And we thought, well, that's great. We'll never get RMR from video or access control. And then you guys come knocking on our door, and I think I made my owner very, very happy by talking him into let's start selling PDK. And I didn't have to talk him into it, but it was the right thing to do. And it's fun. I mean, I never thought I would say access control is fun, but it is. It's fun and easy, you know?
That's good. I mean, I agree with you. You know, I might be slightly biased, but that is kind of one thing that it was different when I came over from the distribution side, selling all sorts of older on-premise systems to selling a cloud-based access control system that was built mobile first, that is built very intuitive, like you're saying. It is fun. It's fun to be able to sell and be able to push out there, and I think a big part of that is because of the simplicity, and that is the ProdataKey app, right? The ProdataKey app lets you be able to do everything. Like you were saying, you can be just on site with that ProdataKey app, open up the software, the GUI, and you can configure the system right then and right there. The administrators and the managers of the building, they love to be able to whip out their ProdataKey app to manage who's got access when and where. They can go ahead and assign their mobile credentials to different users, to their employees and tenants, so that they can go ahead and gain access. And then those employees and tenants, they just walk right up to a door. They can go ahead and hit unlock on that mobile credential, or if they have the Bluetooth on it, they walk right up to that reader, they hold their phone up to it, and it unlocks. So it's a lot of robust capability all in a simple platform, all from one simple mobile app.
Right. And you guys did make it simple.
Yeah.
You know, there's things, there's security panels or security vendors out there that over-engineer. They over-engineer, make it too hard for us common people to deal with it. We have to really study and forget. You guys are engineered perfectly where it's so easy, right? Where we can teach a 18-year-old coming in or a 65-year-old that's been here forever. They're going to all learn within a matter of minutes on how to add people, add credentials, add doors. It's super easy. And like you just getting back on the mobile credentials, it makes it, the mobile credentials make it very easy again when it comes to installing, because we will give ourselves as an installer mobile credentials at a big firm. So let's say we're doing 100 doors, right? Or maybe 20 doors, whatever, right? If I have mobile credentials and I give it, now I can test everything perfectly from walking around a school, let's say, right? And then as an admin at said school, they can take us out if we forget to take ourselves out, which we don't because we're a security company. But it's very easy for them to look through and say, why is Mike Solomon in here? Click, you're gone.
Yeah, easy to get rid of. That's awesome. So Mike, talk to me a little bit about a job that you guys may have recently installed that is using the mobile credentials, and talk to me about why that end user wanted to go with mobile credentials.
So we got quite a big farming system. We're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So we have a farm corporation that has many farms, right, throughout Wisconsin, and we're putting PDK in all their barns or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been to all the sites, but long story short is all their workers that are out on the tractors and such, they all have phones. You know, they that's how they communicate now. That's how, and they use the mobile credentials to open up overhead doors or man doors or such, and they can go from farm to farm to farm to do that very easy. And it's very easy for them to turn a person on to be able to go to this farm or that farm. There's so many variables or variations of how you can let one of your employees, let's say it's someone that's working in a cornfield, right? And they can go into wherever they shuck the corn, but they can't go into the offices. Very easy, right? But yet that person still has mobile credentials to get into those buildings that they can get into. They don't have to buy a fob that is going to be lost. Because I'll tell you right now, people lose fobs and cards a lot more often than they lose their phones.
Yeah, I think we ran a poll not too long ago, and it was like 1/3 of all key fobs and prox cards are broken every year, and then over the next 2 years after that, the remaining 2/3 are lost. It's crazy.
And and as a integrator like us, sometimes it's like, well, we're going to lose the selling or of the fobs, the extra fobs and cards. Yeah, but we're going to keep a customer. It's all about keeping a customer sticky, and that's one thing that PDK, all those you get a customer to stick with you by taking care of them and not overcharging them and not trying to sell them stuff that they don't need, right? I'm not going to tell someone that's working a farm, hey, you have to have a fob in your pocket, right, as they're digging a ditch, right? But they'll have a phone. Everybody's got a phone.
Everybody's got a phone on them. It's that fifth appendage.
Yep. Yeah.
So, no, that's awesome.
Adam Sandler did a song about it, phone, wallet, keys. You always got to check for your phone, wallet, keys when you're leaving.
Always. Nice. Well, Mike, we are just about out of time on this week's episode, but I want to thank you very much for coming and jumping on, talking to us all about mobile credentials and about how they benefit your business and your customers' business. If you guys who are listening want to learn more about mobile credentials, if you're not already using them, please be sure to reach out to us here at PDK. We want to make sure that you guys know everything that you guys need to know about mobile credentials. Like Mike was talking about, the mobile credentials from your phone that you can just go ahead and open up and unlock a door. That's free. It's included with every system. And then if you do want to use the Bluetooth capabilities, that is a reader-specific credential, and then also technology-specific, but we can help you out with building that kind of system. So please feel free to reach out to us and we will get you taken care of there. But again, thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. If you guys who are listening have not already done so, please subscribe to this podcast, leave it a 5-star rating, and also be sure to leave any comments and let us know if there's anything that you are looking to learn. But that is it for this week's episode. Thank you again for joining, and we'll see you next week.